Hi, trustees again. Adjowah is going to talk more about the whole thing about social worker at a school and the list of staff we have for the 5 years and how we're going to take care of the social worker functions without having any one person, whose title his or her is going to be called I'm the social worker at TI.
Okay. So as I look at this chart that tells us our staffing, rationale, and personnel, I'm
What
looking.
page? What page is that?
This is page 326.
Okay.
And so in the first year, when we started talking about positions and who we would have and who we could actually afford to pay, we have ELA teachers, we have two of those, two math teachers, we have a social studies teacher, a science teacher, a principal, an executive director, and an executive assistant. So there are only 9 of us. In the next year, we double. Now, going back to the first year, we only have 88 children. So that's a great ratio. It's what? It's 11 to 1. It's more than that. What is it? Like 11 point. Split a kid in pieces. Anyway, it's a good ratio. So I believe that 88 kids with 9 people, we can really make sure that the needs of families and students are being met. In year 2, that doubles to 20 people, 19.5. And we have positions that come in, such as an aide, such as clerical staff and reception, as well as the academic support coordinator, special education assistants and consultants. So all of these people will be able to absorb some of those things that a social worker or a family support person would be able to do. Um, I believe that many of the things that social workers do, such as working with families and helping families get out of difficult situations, or working with children who have special needs and are not sure how to move forward with that, those are the pieces that our professionals will be trained and equipped to deal with. Once again, professional development will come into play, and our outside community resources. So Steve and I are kind of banking on those types of things to make sure that all of those things are being met and covered. In year 3, we have a guidance counselor position, and that will be really helpful in preparing our children to move forward into going to higher education, but as well as making sure that families are on track in order to support the families. Going back and talking a little bit about social workers, and one of the major things that they do is process child welfare issues. We are mandated reporters as educators, so if we see things happening with students, such as neglect, such as physical violence, such as being hungry, any of these things happening, we have to report, and then we would go through the process with ACS, which is Child Welfare Services.
Can you talk a little bit about how we're going to start with TI boot camp and connect with the families, and then reconnect with them through the year, so
Sure.
that trustees see how important and what strategies we're going to have in mind
Sure.
to connect with families.
Sure. So TI Boot Camp is going to be an essential part to setting the tone for the culture of the school. It's the first time that kids and families get to experience what TI Pride really means. It will be a combination of academic things as well as social things to really build that sense of community. I would imagine lots of icebreakers and team building activities that will be led by people within our school so that kids and families can begin to get to know each other. What was the other part? TI Boot Camp.
And then we have TI Family Academy.
TI Family Academy, which is something that happens monthly in my brain. It might be written in here as 4 times a year, simply to make sure that we meet what we've said. And that will be an opportunity for families to come in and gain some sort of knowledge, whether we're bringing in people from the outside community to talk to them, whether it is a presentation done by teachers or students to talk about what's happening at the school. Those things will be slated into our calendar on a regular basis. The other part is taking a poll of what it is that actually families in the community need. Many of them might need jobs, many of them might need education, many of them might simply just want to learn how to use computers themselves and become more involved in their child's education. So those things will be set up.
Good.